Coming up on Made Fit TV, I'm going to show you a really healthy recipe for some lemon bars. Plus, people are running more outside. Are you suffering from some shin splints? We're going to address that in our Made Fit TV viewer email of the week. Made Fit TV starts right now. Everyone, welcome to Made Fit TV, where fit bodies don't just happen, they're made. I'm your host, Jennifer DiDonato. This is episode number 135, and I just want to thank everyone for following, keeping Made Fit TV around for nearly 3 years. We're still going strong. Make sure that you get in on the topics of the conversations and everything like that on Facebook, facebook.com/MadeFitTV, and I'm also on Twitter, twitter.com/JennyDiDonato. So welcome to the show. And on this episode, I want to show you guys a guilt-free lemon bar recipe. Now, all of the information on how to make these is going to be on MadeFitTV.com right below this video in the text below it. It's not going to be on YouTube. It's not going to be on Vidler. So you've got to go to MadeFitTV.com when we upload this video and scroll right below the video after you watch it, of course, and you're going to see all the ingredients, all of the nutrition information right down there. But I'll give you a little teaser. These lemon bars that I'm going to be making are only going to be 90 calories and 10 grams of protein. So, and you might be able to eat more than just one in your serving, but you'll have to wait to find out. All right, so let's get started. We're going to start with the wet ingredients first. And lemon bars, of course, require some lemon juice. So let me see, we're going to start with in here. Now, this is a secret weapon of this recipe, and it's going to be kind of like a Crystal Light mix, lemon lemon flavor powder. You can get anything from Crystal Light to Weiler's. This is just whatever brand. You can get whatever you want. Now, if you're not too happy with the sugar substitutes, I'd suggest that you maybe don't use that. If you're anti-sugar substitutes, I'm totally for it. If you guys don't want to use it, that's totally fine. For or against it, I don't care. Do what you want. So you're going to have to double up on the lemon juice on this recipe if you're not going to be using this, and you're going to have to add some sort of sweetener if you want to, either real sugar, agave nectar, whatever, or stevia. So okay, let's get started. All right, this is a half a tablespoon of a 2-quart packet of the calorie-free lemon drink mix. So I'm just going to put that right in there. So if you get the packet, it's going to be half the packet. So just measure it. It's going to be half a teaspoon. Okay, then what we're going to do is put in 1 teaspoon of lemon juice. You can do freshly squeezed if you want, but I find this to be a little bit easier. And plus I had it in my fridge. And that's the key here. You want to use things you have in your house. You don't want to be like, okay, we're making a recipe, let's go and buy out half the store. You want it to be convenient. You don't want everything to be so complicated. So that's what I try to do, is show you guys recipes where it's as easy as possible. And then what I'm going to do is to mix in with all this, let it dissolve. I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of water, but it's the same thing as 4 teaspoons. So I'm just going to add that. It's a little bit easier. I guess I should have added the water first. 3 and 4. Very good. So I'm just going to kind of stir that in, let it kind of dissolve right there. Okay, now that it's all pretty much dissolved, I'm just going to pour it in here for now, because that's where we're going to put all of our wet ingredients first. Oh, it didn't quite dissolve. Okay. The next thing we're going to do, now a lot of times people like to use applesauce, things like that. I love Greek yogurt because it adds a kind of a moist flavor, texture to everything. And with this recipe, it kind of gives it a cheesecake consistency. So with the holidays, you know, if those of you celebrate or, you know, recognize Passover, Easter, Lent, I'm sure you don't want to have sugar-free or fat-free anything for Lent. You want to kind of pig out, but this can be an option as well. So this is 6 ounces of fat-free Greek yogurt. Fat-free Greek yogurt, my favorite, my all-time favorite. Okay, and then the next thing with the wet ingredients is going to be a 1/2 cup of egg whites. Now, 1/2 cup of egg whites is about equivalent to about 8 or 9 egg whites. So if you don't have the liquid kind, you can use about 8 to 9 liquid egg whites. So 1/2 cup. So now I'm just going to mix this all together a little bit. It might splash a little bit, so you want to put it on low with your hand mixer, or you can mix it manually. Okay, so you mix that all up until it's blended, you know, maybe 30 seconds, whatever. Just make sure it's not chunky. Next thing we're going to do is put in 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. Because now we're going to do the dry ingredients. Next thing, we're going to use 2 scoops of the Niagen Vanilla Protein Powder. Remember, you can get this 10% off on Niagen. Use the MadeFit code MadeFit for the discount. I like this because it bakes the best. You're going to do 2 scoops, or if you're using another protein powder, make sure it's vanilla flavored, and measure out 1/2 cup. So this is, I know certain scoops are a little bit different, so if you're using a different brand, just use 1/2 cup. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to use 1/2 cup of oats right here. Where's my scoop? There we go. I have so many different scoops for so many different things. 1/2 cup of oats, or you could use oat flour as well. But I like the oats because it still gives it that consistency because it's the full oats. You could use either quick oats if you want to, or you could use whole. Now this is another great thing that I love. We're going to put in 1/2 cup of the rice flour. This is brown rice flour, and the great thing about brown rice flour is that it's not, you know, it's whole grain, it's good fiber, and the great thing about this as well is it's low on the GI scale, glycemic index. It's not going to increase your insulin. And it's great because it's gluten-free, so you guys don't have to worry about that if you are looking for kind of a gluten-free recipe. However, if you are gluten intolerant or have celiac disease, you want to make sure if you do get oats, you want to make sure that they are certified organic, because oats can be processed in the same place as other grains that are not gluten-free, and it can contaminate it. So I don't know about the rest of this stuff, but this could be a good gluten-free recipe. But if you guys know out there, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm always up for corrections. Okay, so we have all the dry ingredients. I just want to make sure. All right, great. I'm just going to now mix this all together. Just maybe take a minute or so. Okay, so I just blended it for about a minute with the hand mixer. So now what I'm doing is just using this little spatula just to make sure there are no chunks, everything's equally distributed, because I'm sure if you're like me, sometimes you get areas that are like, ooh, I should have mixed that in. Okay, now what I did is I lined this nice, beautiful Calphalon pan, 8x8. You want to use an 8x8 pan, and this makes a total of 8 squares, or 9 squares, excuse me, that we're going to make with this. No, 8. My bad. So what you're going to do, line it. I like to use a little bit of coconut oil. You know, you don't have to count the fats necessarily, maybe a couple grams, but coconut oil is great, and it's healthy fats, more like a thermogenic effect. Look it up. I did an episode on healthy fats. So all right, we're just going to pour it right on in. And I set the oven at 350, and the bake time can vary. I hate to do that to you guys, but everyone's oven is different. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the timer for about 20 minutes, but I'm going to check on it at 18. So this could bake for anywhere from 18 minutes to about 23, 24 minutes. So I don't mean to be so complicated, but just to be safe, you want to check it beforehand. Okay, so making sure everything's all even. Look at that. Beautiful. All right, I'm going to stick it in, and I'll see you in about 20 minutes. Okay, time for our MadeFit TV viewer email of the week, and this one is from AJ from Pittsburgh, and he wrote me and said, I started running again over a year ago. My running partner noticed that I always land significantly harder on my right foot, and after a few miles, my right shin really hurts. Walking, however, causes no problems. Any suggestions or tips on how I can work on correcting this? And I loved this question because, first of all, I suffer from shin splints, which is what AJ is talking about. And the thing that a lot of people think that, you know, it's the springtime, they just want to get out there and go. Obviously, AJ, you've been running for about a year, but it sounds like you may need to get a new pair of running shoes, and also maybe assess how your strength training program, and your flexibility. It all goes hand in hand. It's kind of like you want to look at your program as a stool with 4 peg legs. Okay, so if you chop off one of those legs, it could be, you have your strength, you have your cardio, you have your nutrition and flexibility. If you chop off one of those legs, the stool's going to fall. Same thing with your program. If you're not doing flexibility training, you're not doing that kind of recovery, it's going to not work for you. It's going to fall down, not support you. So you want to make sure that you're tackling all those angles. So the first thing you want to do is stop running and get assessed by someone at a reputable running shop in your area. You want to make sure that you're seeing someone. If you can't get to someone, maybe go see someone. It's a sports medicine doctor, orthopedic surgeon, anyone that can maybe look at you anatomically, see how you're walking, take a look at your gait, see what muscles may be overactive, underactive, and your postural habits that we develop over time. It could be that you're just favoring that right leg, and that's causing that stress, and that's what's causing that shin splint. So number one, make sure you're getting fitted specifically for you. For shoes, it could be anything from the way you walk to your arches. Everyone's different. Just because Bob over here is using Brooks shoes, maybe Brooks shoes don't work for you. Maybe you need some Asics. So you want to look into that as well, and make sure that you're elevating your legs. I have an episode on MadeFit TV, you know, for muscle recovery, for soreness, and also the foam rolling, which is episode number 5. It's such an old episode. So AJ, I hope that those suggestions help you. And for those of you out there who are hitting the tracks or the treadmill, take it easy out there and give your body some rest. Recovery is sometimes more important than the actual training itself. It complements it. So make sure you're doing that. And thank you so much for that email. If you guys maybe want to see your email right on MadeFit TV, you can email me at the Ask Jenny link right above me on this homepage on MadeFitTV.com, or you can email me at Jenny@MadeFitTV.com. But don't forget to participate in the community and the conversations that we have on Facebook, Facebook.com/MadeFitTV. You may find me under Jennifer DiDonato, but instead of friending me, that's more for my personal friends and family, go ahead and like the fan page, because I'm on there just as much, if not more, than my personal page. And I'm also on Twitter.com/Jenny DiDonato. So special thank you to Niagen. They did an awesome giveaway with the free protein powder for the month of March. Always an additional 10% off their products with the MadeFit promo code. We are going to be doing more giveaways, more added bonuses with Niagen coming up. So be aware of that and stay tuned and follow me. So thank you so much for joining us on MadeFit TV. We'll see you next time. Time to check out those lemon bars. Check it out. You can cut this into 8 slices, 8 squares, and like I said, they're all 90 calories, but you can see all the information right below this video only on MadeFitTV.com. But for one serving, you could have 2 of these for 180 calories, and they're protein packed, got a lot of fiber, no sugar, virtually no fat, and pretty conservative on the carbohydrates. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Lemony deliciousness.